Were you happy with everything, how it turned out? Like, you're dealing with so many people. How do you manage all that? Like, how do you, as the top guy in control of that, how do you do that?
You know, it's controlled chaos.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's much like the filmmaking process in general. And you're always, I think when doing visual effects, you have to start from a base conceptual look of and an idea of how you're going to address a certain effect or character or whatever, and then as you go through the implementation of that, it takes on new avenues and kind of organically finds itself. But you know, nothing's straightforward, and but you generally, what I like to say is we try to plan, and then when it all falls apart, at least you started from something, you know. But this was on this film in particular, it was great because Tim really did have a great vision of it, and he was really collaborative. So it gave myself and a lot of us the opportunity to be artistic and design and be involved in that creative process, which is what I personally love the most about the job. So that was really great. And then working with all the various facilities, they were we got lucky. Everybody, when we started sending out bids for this movie, everybody was so jazzed about it and just was dying to be on this movie, which is a nice thing to happen when you're working on one. I've been on the other side of that, and so it was pretty cool because no matter what piece people got, because sometimes you're a little apologetic because everybody wants to do all this big work, and you're like, well, we just have this one part we want you to do that, and whoever it was or whatever facility was like, oh, we're so psyched about that part. And they were, and they really kind of took it to heart. And each piece that every facility did, they made it their own, and they really wanted to make it the best part of the movie, which, you know, is awesome because it only makes the whole look that much better. So it was great, it really was, and I honestly just had an amazing experience working with all the various facilities.
How did you enter as a team into that world?
I mean, going into it, obviously a new platform, you know there's going to be limitations, you're going to have issues, and you got to keep an open mind with that. But you know, the other assistants and we all came in. Vashi was a great teacher in the beginning, you know, showing us how we needed to go ahead and work and what the best workflow would be. And we ended up setting up a pretty straightforward workflow. You know, we knew that Adobe not having a user-friendly project sharing and everything, we knew we needed to make a workflow that would essentially allow everyone to be able to go ahead and navigate easily and be able to find everything that they needed to find. So we ended up setting up basically, how you would say, a master project or a master folder, and inside that master folder, we went ahead and created subfolders, you know, current reels, scene bins, and whatnot. This basically allowed us to go ahead and navigate, and we would be able to store all of our Premiere projects in those folders, and made it to where that the editor or the assistants, anyone would be able to find stuff easily. Now the catch with that though was that, you know, not being able to go ahead and share one project, you run the issue of multiple editors or assistants using the same project at once. So we needed to kind of devise a situation where we wanted to keep the lock bin functionality, much like what you would experience in Avid. And we created X-user folders at the bottom of the master folder. And anytime that anyone wanted to go ahead and use a certain project or a scene bin, it was their responsibility to go ahead and take that and bring that down into the X-user folder, and then their responsibility to go ahead and put it back.
I was hired for 3 weeks initially to go and teach everyone. And I assumed that editors, and especially at this level, everyone's really intelligent, everyone's really quick. They pick up stuff. I knew it wasn't going to be 3 weeks of where's this key or what does that do. It was a matter of setting up their workflows, setting up their two-panel monitors to a comfortable place where it would approximate what they were used to, match their keyboard shortcuts to what they used already, and try and eliminate the machine so you can just edit and not think. So that was my job. And funny enough, on the first day with Julian Clark, the lead editor, by the end of the day, he was like, screw it, let me just cut some scenes. Let me just cut. And by the end of the day, he had already cut scenes, you know, his first day on Premiere Pro. So, I mean, I think that's obviously a testament to Julian and his abilities, and also to accommodating the editor with a system that they can just feel comfortable at. So that's one of the key things that I think is really powerful about Premiere Pro, is its flexibility and its expandability that way. I think the humor of this, you know, talking in generalities, like the humor offsets the goriness and everything else and opens it up to such a different place. The freedom that they had to go with it was a huge risk, obviously, but I'm proud of the results. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I haven't seen a movie like that in a long time, to say the least. And it just felt really open and fun. And superheroes movies, God forbid, can't they be fun? Like, sorry, just want to have some fun. But what demanded the most as an editor and story-wise?
Yeah, I'd probably go with the big fight at the end. You know, the fight scene between Deadpool, Ajax, Colossus, NTW. Not just because of any given reason, but with the complexity. You had full CGI characters, you know, green screen, full CGI shots, and then you're intercutting all of these different fight scenarios, you know, which you need to be able to get the pace, the comedy, and the tempo right while telling the story. I think they did a great job on it, you know. In the end, it was still something fun, and it didn't last too long.
Right,
I mean, it was a 20-minute scene that didn't feel too long, didn't feel too short, and told what they needed to do.